Welcome into Knit Habits. My name is Christina. You are viewing me here today in Raleigh, North Carolina, and we are having a mild rainy day here. Not really rainy, I would say more drizzly than rainy. It's just kind of wet outside and cloudy, but that's what's coming to you here from Raleigh, North Carolina. If I haven't introduced myself or you are new here, and if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. But if you are new here, I am a knitter and a licensed therapist here in North Carolina, and I like to integrate some therapy techniques or information into my podcast on occasion. But mostly it is a knitting podcast. So welcome in. I'm so glad you're here. I've had some new subscribers is the word I'm looking for. And if you're returning, I'm so glad you've decided to come back to me. I do have some things to go over today. I have some finished objects. I have actually 4 finished objects for you, and some whips that I had last time, some ideas for some projects. I have no therapy talk today, because I have a cart of stuff over here, which I'll put a picture of the cart up for you. And I was just thinking about going through it and seeing what I have in there that I could make. I would like to clear out that and, get some other ideas bagged up and ready for over there. I have some things that have come back into the yarn pantry behind me here. And I have a bag that is likely to become words are hard today. It's likely to become a prize at some point. Today I am wearing a shirt that I got from Yarn Merch, and I love this shirt because I am a total Trek fan, and it says knit long and prosper, and it has all the little knitting symbols for when we are doing a non-written pattern. And I just thought it was perfect. And if you probably don't know, but up there on the shelf, because you can see that there's a shelf right there, it runs all the way across my office. I'll take a picture, but I have Spock and I have Captain Kirk up there from like the old show from the 60s. And so I just really love Star Trek. And I have another shirt that's black and it just has a blue Spock hand for the knit long, or the live long and prosper. So I just thought it was perfect to incorporate knitting in there. So I got that at Yarn Merch. They are on Instagram. I will have them linked below. They have a lot of fun, different crochet, knitting merchandise that you can purchase from them. So that is what I'm wearing today. So not necessarily knitting, but nothing hand knit, but still knitting related. So yeah, that's that. We'll jump right into finished objects. There are a number of them. The first one is I did get the sock monkey done. Here it is. Now, if you have been watching over on My Pink Bathtub, if you've been watching her over there, you'll know that mine is not anywhere near as good looking as hers, but I still think it's adorable. So this is made out of Knit Picks Brava. It is an acrylic yarn. And let me look up here. What colors do I have? I have the black for the nose, and the eyes is in Chimney Sweep. The gray is Stratus, so this color, and the ears. And then the pink is Rose Lynch. And I think this color is Boysenberry for the mouth. So this is all done. It's going to go off to my daughter-in-law's brother and his girlfriend that are expecting here in the next few months for her. That goes along with that dress that I made as well. But so stinking cute. And if you have watched Diane's Vlogmas, she was talking about how she always puts the face on last. And I did the same thing. I think I just didn't want it. I wanted to wait until the personality was all done. But I think it turned out really cute. This is the first amigurumi kind of object I've ever made, and I don't think it will be my last. I'm pretty sure I will continue to make these sock monkeys. I may make some for my great nephews that are 3 and 2, almost 4 and 2. Anyway, I may make ones for them, although my niece told me that I didn't need to because it would just be put up on a shelf, but I have a ton of the yarn left over. I may not make it pink, but we'll see. But they're so stinking cute. And I know I was worried about how to attach the tail and the arms and, you know, all these little pieces that just get attached on. And the mouth, I did put it on a little bit crooked, but it's for a child. I don't, you know, she's not going to care or know or anything like that. So I think it's cute. I think it just adds to the personality of the little sock monkey. And I definitely think I will make more. And I did reach out to Diane, and she was so nice at my pink bathtub. And I said, you know, like, how do you attach the arms? And she's like, I just sew them on. But one thing that she did tell me that I really appreciated, so thank you very much, and it does make sense, is to not, when you're putting the polyfiber in or whatever you're using to stuff it with, not to put it all the way to the top, up here on the arms and the legs, or the arms and the tail. And the mouth does just say to lightly stuff, but she said not to stuff it all the way up. And then it gives it, you know, it gives it some room to move around. You don't want him to look like the guy from the little kid from the Christmas Story where he's like all stuffed, you know, and his little arms stick out. So that was good advice. So I did take a little bit of stuffing out of there when I put them on, and I just actually just sewed them on. I am seeing where I might want to sew a little bit more now that I'm looking at it. There's a little hole right there. I'm gonna attach a little bit stronger on there. But yeah, I think it's adorable. And you can tell where I had where I started and stopped the colors, unfortunately. But again, this is going to a newborn. She's not going to care. I'm pretty sure that the parents are not going to care either. So hopefully they will like this. And as I told my daughter-in-law, I'm just practicing for when they have kids. I'm just practicing. And so these, you'll probably see a few more of these, basically. Easy to follow pattern. Let's see, what did I write? I said the directions, while sparse, are easy enough to follow. So I started this, I don't know exactly when I started it, but I did finish it on the 10th. So super cute. Super, super cute. All right, that is done and will be getting in the mail soon. The other thing I made, I'm going to get to these last two here last. I did finish my sleeveless in Vancouver. If you remember, I was in the midst of making this. This is a pattern by Sweater Freak, and it is made in a US 3. And if you remember, I did do the provisional cast on using the barber cord, and I've talked about it a lot on here, so I'm not going to bore you guys with it again, but I did do that, and I will say it did really work well. So if you want to watch my previous video where I talk about that, and then I Kitchenered it together here, on here, right, yeah, right there. You can't even tell, but it did get Kitchenered together there. So that was nice. And this is made out of Hypnotic Yarn, Sunflower Power, which is a deep stash color that I had in my yarn pantry back here. And it's an 8515, so it's just a really pretty bright sunny color. And let's see here. So you start on the back with the provisional cast on. You do that. You make this each of the sleeve or the armholes, and then you do this like cowl part. Now, the thing that I will say is I haven't worked out how to properly wear this. I will put it on here. So I believe, My thought is that you kind of go like this and you put it on over your shoulders, and then it's kind of like a vest kind of a thing here. And then you have this long piece hanging down, and then I believe what you're supposed to do is kind of do this sort of a situation. So it doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't fit me great, but maybe it would fit other people great. I honestly have a feeling I maybe should have done another of these lace repeats, and I didn't. And so it just doesn't hang down enough. I may take the Kitchener out and redo that. I may just leave it, but as you can tell, it doesn't fit me super great. It was a fun pattern to knit. I enjoyed it. I really think this lace pattern is really pretty. It blocked out beautifully, but it just doesn't fit me right. So, finished object, but may need to come apart and be redone. So that is that. Don't really have much to say about that. That was done in a US 4 3.5. That's it. Yeah, I'm not sure how to wear it was what I wrote. So that is the other one. I have two more. These are somewhat political, I guess you could say. I think they're more humanitarian than political, but you could take it for what it's worth. These both have to do with what is going on currently in this country, and these are about things that I did not think I would ever actually have to be talking about right now in this country. That's all I'm going to say. Well, I'm going to say more, but that's all I'm going to say on that. So this one, you may want to, if you are offended by words that you may call bad, you may not want to see this part. You may want to fast forward, and that's fine. I don't find these words offensive, or this one word offensive, but this is a pattern it's called Icy Conditions. It's on Ravelry. It's by Jane Worrell, and she's Arcane Knits. And I made this out of scrap yarn that I did my perfect stripe cardigan from Sweater Freak out of. It's out of the Miss Babs Yowza scraps. So yeah, so here's your warning. If you'd like to fast forward, you can. So this is you could use it as a cowl or a headband. I did this, it took me probably 5 hours, 6 hours to make total. And you can use it as a headband or you can use it as a cowl. And yes, I have worn this out and I don't care. Okay, so you can wear it as a cowl. You can also put it up as an earwarmer or a headband and wear it if you want to. And that is how I feel about that. That's all I'm going to say. I'm glad she made this, and I'm glad it's there because it helped me work through some irritation recently. So there's that. The other thing that I made is the Melt the Ice hat. And this is by Paul S. Neary. The proceeds of it go to immigrant aid agencies and can be made in fingering, DK, or worsted. I made it in worsted weight yarn, and this is, I made it out of Malabrigo, the Secabos, and this is the colorway Cereza, and I got this at Oak City Fibers. I went down to my local yarn store. I wanted to be I wanted to support them as well. So I made this hat, and there's a story behind it. And you can read about it on the website, or not the website, on Ravelry. And there's been articles and stuff going on about this hat. So it is a red color, although it's a more deeper red than it's showing up on the camera. It's coming up more as an orangey red. And this type of hat became popular during World War II with the Norwegians, and of course the Nazis, of course, did not like it, and so they outlawed it and made it punishable by death to be wearing one, and there's a whole story. So you start out with doing, you know, a bunch of ribbing here. And I did twisted rib, so you can wear it more slouchy if you want to. You can fold it up. So it definitely gets a lot of wear. And then you do these decreases here. I don't know why it looks like that there, but anyway. And then you can, they have a description for a doing some strands of yarn and then doing a braided tassel off the end. I just did an I-cord and stitched it up inside, attached it on the inside, and did a 3 stitch I-cord and then tied it off at the end. So really easy to make. Proceeds go to a very good cause. I know they've already raised a lot of money. There's been articles about it and things. So if you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen it. But yeah, it's a great hat for a good cause. And so yeah, had to jump on that one along with the other, with the cowl, helping me feel like I'm doing something with the craziness that's going on. And maybe slightly less depressed about what it is. So yeah, so that's great. I'm sure I'll wear this, you know, forever. Anyway, it's a great fitting hat and easy to do. It doesn't take long. Once you get through the ribbing, which I did a twisted rib, I knit through the back loop for the knit stitch. Once you get through all of this, this part is really easy to do. I know that for me, the pattern says to put 3 stitch markers in. I found it easier, just for the way my brain works, to just have the 2 stitch markers where you're doing the decreases. I found that to be easier for me, but you know, of course you can obviously do whatever you want. But great yarn, of course. I mean, Malabrigo, we all know that Malabrigo is great. Easy to do. All right, so those are all of my finished objects. Whips, what am I working on? Well, I am still working on the String of Light Socks by Sock Witchery. Wow, words are hard today. By Sock Witchery. And let's see here, which is Lindsay Shank Kirchner on Ravelry. You can find her as Sock Witchery. She does have a podcast on YouTube if you're interested as well. And it's called Sock Witchery, so you can look that up if you'd like to as well. I am doing these on a US 1 2.25 in Sock Obsession yarn. I haven't made as much progress because those other 2 projects just kind of snapped up and took my attention, but that's okay. It's not a race, right? It's just what we do for fun. So these are Sock Obsession yarn, merino sock 4-ply in the colorway Head Turner. So here's the tag for Sock Obsession yarn. And I think it's a 70, yeah, it's a 75-25 4-ply. And here's the ball of it. It's really pretty. Of course, they're my colors. And this is an easy pattern to follow. I don't have a sock blocker over here. They're hanging up on my wall, but there it is. These are to show me how many repeats. I do them in 10, which you've probably seen a million times and know what I'm talking about. This is the shadow wrap heel that I always do, and now I'm just working on the leg. These are done in a US 1 2.25. These are on my ChowGoo red lace. So that's as far as I've gotten on those. That is that. Easy peasy. The other thing I'm working on, which is living in my bag, you saw in the last episode, this is by Sassy Sacks. Super Awesome bag. Love that. There's the tag. And this is my Lento. The Lento, let's see what I have to say about that one, is I'm making it in Rama and Chelsea yarns. The Rama Fennel in the color number 4120, which I got from, let me look at my notes because I can't think. I got this from the Woolly Thistle. They describe this color as dark red ruby. So I'm using that. And then the mohair, which matches really perfectly, as you can tell. Everything's coming up oranger. I don't know why, but it is. It's more of a darker red. There is some yellow undertones, I'm not gonna lie, but it's definitely more red than that, which is in the Chelsea Luxe in the colorway Cider Donut, which I talked about last time. I don't think you can get. I got this from a D stash from the guys from the Bearded Pearl. So I don't know how long they had it in their stash, but there it is, Cider Donut. So pretty. I love it. Love it. And the Lento is out of, where did I write it? Is out of Lane Magazine by Joanna Helen. And it is a top down in the round raglan. I'm doing the second size. It fits really well. I just tried it on. I am making it longer than the pattern suggests. I'm not a cropped necessarily person. I didn't want it cropped. So there are short rows. The pattern is super easy to follow. You do the collar, that's a folded over collar, and there is a little bit of a provisional cast on. Of course, I did the barber cord thing again. That worked really great. And then you fold it over, pick up the stitches, and start the raglan. And I have done, let's see, where was I? Here, this would be helpful. I was here last time, right here. So I wasn't quite ready to split for the sleeve. So I finished the raglan increases, split for sleeves, and then did all of this knitting. And this is probably about, I'd say 10 inches. But this is on, a big needle. I think it's a US 10. If I'm incorrect, I'll put it on there. I don't exactly remember, but this fits great. Let me tell you, you're probably you may laugh at me, I don't know, but the difference between when you measure, and this is something that I had to learn, that measuring your bust from your fullest part to measuring up here and then adding on, the ease that you want, really has made a huge difference on me making sweaters that fit me the way that I want them to. So yeah, this is gonna be absolutely gorgeous. I think the pattern is written for 3/4 length sleeves. I may do full length sleeves on this, but I just love this fabric. I can tell why people are obsessed with the Lento. I don't know that it'll be my last because it knits up so fast, and it's a nice, easy pattern, and it just looks beautiful. And I love the way she did the raglan there. So nice. And you can't even tell. I would love to use a mohair that has different colors in it, just to get something different than one that's just solid and matches so well. But hey, you know what? It was in my stash, might as well use it. That's what we have it for, right? And it's just gonna be a great fitting sweater. Oh, I love it. Can't wait to, I'll probably get it done as soon as it's hot here, but that's okay. It is okay. It is what it is. It just means it'll be perfect for next time it's cold, right? All right, so that's all I have finished and been actively working on. So that is that. Sorry, I got distracted. There's a cardinal bird in the bush right outside the window of my office. Distracted me. All right, so like I said, no therapy talk today. I hope you guys enjoy that. I try to, like I've said before, and if you're new here, you may not know, one of the things that I try to do with this channel not only is a place to share my knitting and document what I'm working on, but is also to try to help take some of the stigma out of mental health and just help people realize that we all have mental health issues, we all have things going on in life, and there's nothing to be embarrassed about there. All right, moving on to things to enhance the stash and what I purchased for a potential prize at some point. Two things. One, I got some yarn that I pre-purchased in December from Fiber Nymph Dye Works. This is on the Winter Wellness Pie colorway, and it is on her bounce base. And I'm gonna put my glasses on so people of a certain age, really. Anyway, I have to read. This is on her bounce base, which is an 80/20. 400 yards, 100 grams. It's 5 self-striping 5 stripes, and it had the bonus mini. And she has a little bit of a little paper in here that talks about each of, she said, the corresponding color progression of your winter pie skein, these 5 tips meant to help you survive the cold, gray days of winter. And then there's different things about each color in there. But there's the tag. And it's just so pretty with that skein in there. That extra, or not extra, the mini. Can't talk apparently today. And then just the pretty pinks and blue. I just loved it. So that's from Fiber Nymph Dye Works. I've knit with her yarn multiple times. It's a great, great yarn. So that will be socks at some point. The other thing that I got was, I saw this on Instagram. Boy, Instagram gets me all the time. Are you guys like that too? This is from Long Dog Yarn. Seriously, guys. There we go. And this is from, it says, it's on merino sock. It says view from the fishbowl, 75/25, 459 yards with the mini. And I just loved it. Now that I'm looking at this one and this one, oh my, of course I loved it. Really? But look at that. Look at those good speckles. Oh, they're beautiful. So you can go check out Long Dog Yarn. They're on Instagram. Of course, I'll have them below as well. Just beautiful. But yeah, these great speckles. So those will be fun. Those 2 things. And then the last one was another bag by Sassy Sacks. And I believe I really want to keep this one, but I'm going to give it away for a prize. This is again by Sassy Sacks here, and really nice box bottom bag. Just gorgeous with the pull on there, and then it's just beige on the inside. So this is going to go into the prizes. I'm thinking about doing a make-along with Tania from the Breakfast Crew podcast as well. So we're going to be talking about that. So that'll be coming up on the next episode. She and I are going to talk about that later. So this is going to go into that. So stay tuned. So those are the things that came in. Now, some things that I am thinking about. I was just kind of going through the other cabinet. Looks just like this one, but with less stickers on it over there. and just looking through what yarns I had in there. And I had a bag of this yarn, and I have a bunch of it. And so I was looking to see what I could do with it. Now this is an old yarn. I think it's discontinued, but it's by Cloudborn Fibers, the Alpaca Highland Naturals in the color Pecan Heather. This is a fingering weight yarn, and it's got like a high twist on it. Really pretty. It's got a little bit of a halo on it. And what is it? Does it say? 247 yards, and it's 50% fine, super fine alpaca and 50% Highland wool. So I was looking at this and thinking, what can I do with this? Because it's brown, it's kind of plain. I'm thinking about making, and I kind of have to look it up for you. I think I wrote it down. Maybe. Yes, I did. The Antique Filigree by Rachel Ilsley, and she's Unwind Knitwear. I'll put a picture of it up. And so went looking through my stash. I thought about doing the color work part of it with a Holst garn that I had. I have barely enough, and I am afraid that I would run out of yarn if there's not enough or extra there. So I went looking back through my stash. I had some more Hypnotic yarn put away to make the So Faded by Andrea Mowry, but I think I don't know that I want to make that anymore. So I went looking through the Hypnotic yarn that I had stashed for that, and I picked two to potentially use as the color work. Of course, I asked my husband, and he's fabulous, and said, well, I think either one of them would work. Well, I need somebody to help me pick. So I have this colorway here, which is the one I was leaning more toward. And this is in a color called Pumpkin Patch. This is on her 8515. So that's really pretty. And the other one I was thinking was this one. This is called Sweet and Sour. It looks like sweet and sour sauce, right? So these two are the ones I was thinking, and so tell me what you guys think. I mean, honestly, I would love to have some comments. Tell me what you think, which one you would pick. I may put something like a thing on Instagram asking, and you guys can vote there. But which one do you think would be a good option for that? Which one? This one? I think this is the one I'm leaning more toward because I think it would have more contrast to the brown, but this one would be brighter. So I'm not 100% sure. So let me know in the comments below, Pumpkin Patch or Sweet and Sour. Okay, there's that. Now on to the cart again. So I have bags of yarn. I have projects over here that I have bagged up. So here's what I have. I have yarn for and I have it in just Ziploc bags. I'm nothing fancy here, people. The Earth and Sky hat. This is a hat, and I'll have a picture up, that is by Sweater Freak. I got this as a kit from the Knitting Place. And this is Malabrigo Rios. The colorway is Purple Mystery. And this one also is Malabrigo Rios. This is Archangel, which I've used Archangel again. I used it in a cowl that's actually sitting right there. It's a great colorway as well. So this is supposed to be the Earth and Sky hat. So part of the reason why I'm doing this is to keep me accountable and actually make these, because I will be very transparent here. Some of these projects have been sitting here for like 3 years. I need to get them done. So that is to be the Earth and Sky hat. Okay. The other thing I have here is the Bow hat. This is a pattern by Isabel Kramer. This is another kit that I got from the Knitting Place. And I think what Dinah and Pam said on the Knitting Place is you can make 2 hats with with this yarn, this amount of yarn. So this is Lang Merino 120, and I don't know if there's color numbers or colors on it. Let's see here. It says color 34.0150 is this one. I don't think it has, yeah, it doesn't have an actual name. It's 50 grams, 120 meters, and there's 3 colors. So this is the Bow hat. There, it's a color work hat as well. So thinking about doing, well, I know I'm going to do that. So that is in this thing over here. Sorry for all the crinkling. I'll try not to make too much noise. What else do I have? I have this. Now I'm going to, this is, I think, a vest. It's called Low Key by Elizabeth Smith. I'll have a picture up. This is Knit Picks Highland Desert worsted weight yarn. And the colorway is Dusk. It's a really pretty purple. And it's a pretty soft yarn. And I think it's 100%, yeah, it's 100% American wool. Really pretty. So this is supposed to be the Low Key. I have 1,130 yards of it in this bag. So I'll have a picture of that up. I think it's a vest. I can't remember off the top of my head, but that's over there too. So this is coming up as well. What else do I have? I have, again, crinkling, sorry. I have some Pearl Soho linen quill, and I believe I want to make the daily pullover. I just wrote it on the bag, apparently. And this is their, if you've never worked with, which I think almost everybody at this point probably has, but it's 50% fine Highland wool, 35% alpaca, and 15% linen. So the linen is the part that's kind of the white part, and then you can see there's like a little bit of halo from the alpaca. And then this colorway, do I know what it is? It is Lychee Pink, color 1265. So I have that for the daily pullover, which seems like a really great, wear it all the time with anything sweater. So I have that here. I love Pearl Soho yarns. That is there. And then I had this out for, apparently I thought I wanted to make the magic spring shawl with it. However, I'm thinking about making a vest with this and holding it with mohair for the pattern. I'll put a picture of it up. So I'm thinking about changing that, but this has been in here forever. What else do we have in the Tower of Projects? This is the Mallow cowl. I'll put a picture of it up. And I have 4 of these. This is seriously deep stash yarn from Knit Crate. And you know my love of orange. It is in the, is it Vitalana from Knit Crate? And you know they've been out of business for a hot moment. This is 90% 90% wool. 10% Donegal Nips, Aran weight, 150 yards in the colorway Pumpkin Spice Everything. So this is going to be the mallow cowl, I think. I believe I still want to make it. It looked like a really pretty cowl with a lot of cables on it. So I think I still want that to be that. Not changing on that one. This I have here is going to be the knit velvet, or no, the velvet mirror cowl, and it's a kit that I bought. I mean, this has been in there so long. Let me tell you, there's dust on it. So, this is by Hippie Fibers. Surrey Cloud. Non-superwash, 74% baby Surrey alpaca, 26% mulberry silk. And it's a pattern by Andrea Mowry. And then I think these two are the same. Sorry again for the crinkling. But this is fabulous. Oh my God, it's just so, I don't know why there's a stitch marker on there, but whatever. It's yummy. Can you see that? That halo right there? Oh, so gorgeous. It's alpaca sock. 60% merino wool, 20% alpaca, 20% nylon. I don't think there's a colorway on it, but by Hippie Fibers as well. So there's two of these. And that's going to be the Velvet Mirror Cowl by Andrea Mowry. So I have enough knitting here to last me like forever. Like I don't need to buy more yarn. Will that stop me? I doubt it. Let's see, what else do we have in the thing here? The Pure Joy by Joji Locatelli. I apparently had sitting aside, sorry, this is yarn by Toad Hollow. This is in Orange Blossom Macaroon. And I have two, as you can tell, two skeins of this, which is L'Autumn by Toad Hollow. Those wonderful ladies over there. This is the Pure, maybe the Pure Joy shawl. I may or may not do it. I don't know. I know it's been made a lot. I don't know. We'll see. But I think these all go together gorgeous. All right, so put that back. What else do we have here? I have a lino lane poncho out of the Contrast book, which I have upstairs from Lingering Whip. Maybe we'll do the trash or stash next time. But this is a Natasha by Bremont yarn. I don't want to take it out of the bag, but it looks really soft. Here, I'll take it out just so we can see what it is, because I don't remember. Let's see if I really still want to make this or not, but this is beautiful. It's like I'm going shopping in my stash all over again, right? What is this yarn? This is 100% alpaca. And I don't know if you can tell. There's a little bit of halo there. Oh, it's beautiful, super soft. So apparently I wanted to make a poncho. I'll look for a picture of it and put it up. I don't know. It's been sitting in there, like I said, forever. So that's sitting in there. Lastly, I have this, and this I think I wanted to make apparently the Tegna, and I believe this is by probably all yelling at me because you probably know who it is. Boylan Knitworks. Yes. I'll put a picture of it up. This yarn I bought from Amy from Happy Little Yarn. there she is, right there. I bought this in a D-stash from her. I have 3 skeins of it. It is Madeline Tosh in the Tosh sock, and the colorway is Esoteric, and it's a really gorgeous teal color. It's coming up more blue on the camera than it is here. Here it's a little bit more turquoisey green color, but on there it's coming up pretty blue, but it's not. So I guess I thought about making the Tegna with it, which is a beautiful, I think it's a raglan sweater if I remember correctly. So that's that. What else do I have over here? I don't have any more bagged projects, I don't think. I have this yarn over here, which is left over from a shawl that's over there that I think I have in my queue. Let's look. I think I was going to use like leftover scraps for that, and I believe I wanted to make the Mountains of Minis wrap. Looks like that. I'll put a picture of it up though too. So I think that that's why I had that set aside, was to do that and use a bunch of scraps that I had. What else do I have in here? I am not sure what to do with this. I would love to have your input because I don't know what to use this for, and I have a ton of it. I mean, I may have, I don't know, 6 or 8 of these balls of yarn, and it's Knit Picks Chroma. It's worsted weight in the colorway Sedona. I have a whole bag of it. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these. Do you guys know what to do with this? I'm not sure what to do with it. But it's a worsted weight, and it is, what's the yarn? 70% superwash wool, 30% nylon. Any ideas? I guess I'm a little bit intimidated because of the color changes in it on how to make something. And I guess I brought a sweaters quantity, I'm assuming. So anyway, any ideas on what to do with this? Put them in down below. I would love to hear from you because it's just been sitting there and I don't know what to do with it. Yes, I could look on Ravelry. I know. Lastly, I have this really pretty yarn, which I was going to make, I think I was going to do pressed flowers out of it, and I don't know, it just wasn't a fun experience for me. Now this individual used to have a podcast on here on YouTube, but this is Mountain State Stitches. It's Merino DK. But I have one caked up and one here, and it's freaking beautiful. I don't know what to do with that, but that's in there. And the only other thing I have in there is this yarn that I got from, it must have been 3 years ago, from the North Carolina Fiber Festival. And this is from a local, you know, in the state farm. It says hillsidefarms.com. It's 100% wool, and it's scratchy and kind of sticky. I think it has spinning oil in it. I have a bunch of it in this color, and then I think I have 2 in this kind of orange color that I don't know what to do with it either. And I think it's like a worsted weight. Color says First Love, 100% wool, 200 yards, and I have a feeling it's worsted, so Lord knows what I'm going to ever do with this, but that's sitting over there too. So doing this to keep myself accountable, let you know what's coming up, because I am hoping to knit through these projects unless I change my mind on them and get them made, so that I can, you know, continue shopping from my stash and putting ideas over there. So, yeah, that is all I have for you today. As I usually say, please give yourself the same grace that you would give everyone else. I hope you have happy knitting and take care. Bye-bye.